All right.
Recording in progress.
I wasn't recording. Why was I not recording? So then okay, this one, just leave it. So these defaults, you can leave them as they are. Then on documents, the same goes with the documents, the codes, deliver notes, picking slips. You can leave the defaults as they are, right? Then these two costing methods, the defaults again. So you've got the accounts assigned to each method. The accounts are the same, so you don't have to change anything. These are just the same. So the defaults, the way they are, for starters, they are okay. Only that under job cards, you have to make sure that you track WPS work in progress per job card. So once we are happy there, we just say okay. Then we go back to maintenance, job costing. Then we want to look at workers. So the workers, those are the people, right? You find if you are doing solar installation, you've got people who actually go and do the installations, right? They do the setup, the inverters, the panels, and everything. If it is drilling, is the same. You've got a team which is specifically responsible for doing the actual job. So those are the people you just create here. So if you were to create a worker, you just add, these are your employees, but you are inputting them here because you want to link them up with jobs. So you could just put an employee code depending on how you, the employee codes that you use. Then you are putting in the name of the employee. Then you are putting in like probably the hourly rate. Then you are going to put in what you are going to bill. So it could be the same. It could be just $12. Could be more. It could be less. Then so you add the worker. We are going to use these workers when we do the job cards, right? Now, right now we're just setting up. So that's the workers. Then the transaction types. The transaction types, they just come with the system. These defaults. You don't have to change anything. Just leave these transaction types as they are. We will use them when we are now doing the transactions. Then you have got job templates. So you may have some standard jobs. You may have some standard jobs. And instead of doing a job card each time you are doing that job, you may just want to do a template that you use consistently. So templates, you are only using them in a situation whereby you have got standard jobs that you are doing from time to time. Let's say probably you install satellite dishes. So you may just know that this job is standard. I'm just putting up the dish, setting up the decoder and so on, and the charge probably it's also standard. So you may just have a standard template that you use. So for you to do the standard template, we are coming via maintenance, job costing, then job templates. Then you just add the template. The template, you would find the interface is more or less the same with the job card. So you just give the template a name. In this case, I'm just saying DSTV installation, right? Then the posting method I'm using is what? Percentage of completion. We are recommending this. Then down here, you are now adding the materials. So you have to this source is, if it is coming, is it coming from stock? Is it a stock item? Is it probably labor? Is it payroll? Right. So let's say it's a stock item. We start with the stock item, right? So it will be ST. Then we just pick. I'm just going to use my bread and so on. But this is for dish. So probably this could be the decoder. Then you put the reference there. I'm just going to say ref 001, right? Then, okay, in this case, of course, this will be coming from my warehouse. And because I had set up bin locations, I will have to put up that. Then I'm just putting in the quantity. Then I'm putting in the price, let's say $45, right? Then I'm putting the text. So this will be, for example, for dish installation, this will be probably the decoder. Then I add other stock items if they are there. right? So this is simple. Let's say probably this one is now the dish, right? And the reference, I'm just putting up those refs 002, and I'm just picking the warehouse as well as okay, the quantity I'm putting 1, then probably I'm also putting that, then I'm putting the cost. Let's say the dish costs $16. So you'd find you are putting all the materials, the decoder, the dish, the cabling, and so forth. Then you can also put all right, we now have to change the source here. So we now put the payroll, right? Then on the payroll, we pick the person or the people who are going to do this. Probably, let's say it's James. So we're picking James. Then we are putting the reference to that. Then obviously it will pick the cost, right? Then once we have done that, if you are charging VAT on that as well, we put that. If you are not, then we don't. So if there are 3, if there are 2, if it is just one person, it means you're just putting one person. Then if you are charging, probably let's say we are also charging fuel for some reasons. Let me see if I can pick. Let me see if I've got petrol. Do I have such an account? Well, let me just put probably motor vehicle. All right, it doesn't pick. So let me just probably look for an expense account here. So let's say we have okay, let's say probably we have freight and delivery. We just have that. Probably we send the items to the client via courier, and we charged for that. Then we just put up that cost. Let's say probably $6, right? So this is okay. The same way we're going to do a job card is the same way we are doing this template. So the template, you are just putting up the template for later use. This is a standard template that you know very well. I've got this standard job which I do from time to time, so I'm doing this template. So once you have done the template, you just save it. And all right, so line 3 is complaining. It's saying in transaction code what is supposed to be put there. Let me try to save line 3. No transaction code has been. All right, on line 3. So on line 3, I'm supposed to select payroll, right? Then I save, right? Line 4 again is complaining, so I'm supposed to pick financial lines. Then I save. Right. So I've saved my template. So this template, we are not using it right now. We'll use it later on. So under setup, basically what we are doing is just doing these things. We are not do, we are probably what we create the workers and the job templates. That is if we want to. Then when we come to transactions under job costing, right, we are now doing the job cards. So what the job cards do, it does the same process of invoicing, but it's oriented towards those companies which do they are not selling like a standard item, like your bread, which is standard. Customers just walk in, then you sell them bread. They are selling a product, a service, but it's different from one customer to the other. So in terms of managing and even seeing the profitability of each job, you would rather use the job costing module. Now, when you come here under transactions now, job cards, right, you are taken into this. You are taken into this. So what you have to do first is to create a new job. So you can click on new job. So you'd find when you click on new job, it gives you this. If you see, this is the same window that we used when we were doing the template. So you can either use an existing template. So you could load up a template which is already there. So you could select this template and load it up and use this. Or you could do job 1 status. In this case, status will be caught, right? Then you select your customer, right? Then if there are settlement terms, you could select that. Then you put a description. In this case, it will be DSTV installation. So just saying installation, right? Okay. Now, okay, we picked a template, and because of that, it then loaded up this information. If we had not picked a template, it means we were going to input this information down here. The stock items that are going to be used, the person who is going to do the job, other costs that we are incurring in doing the job. So now what the system does is it then puts prices. So you've got prices there, right? On the freight, we have to put the price. Okay, we are charged that. Probably we are also putting up $12 there, right? So once we have done that, we then save, process, and close. This, what we are doing at this stage of the job is we are providing a quotation. A customer has come through and they've inquired, they want a bore drilled at their farm, and they want certain meters. They also want it to be installed, to have the solar system installed so that the pumping of the water is automated and everything. And we are doing this. Or a client has come through, they want to have, they've bought the DSTV, the decoder and everything, and we're going to do the installation, right? Or actually, no. They've inquired on how much it costs in terms of having a DSTV installation. So what you are starting with is the quote. So you'd find here we've got quote, we've got a number of things, quote, active, completed. So we're starting with the quote, which will be also here. Then we go to save, process, close. So it will say, do you want to print? Yes, we want to print the job card quotation. So it will be your standard quotation. So when you give the client this, it's just your standard quotation with the items that are involved, right? So you print the quotation, you give to the client. Now, once we have done that, we now have a job that we have saved, right? Then we come back. Let's say that job is the customer now has engaged us, right? We are now saying the customer has engaged us. So we could say new job. Then we just want to file, right? Okay, we want to load the job that we previously, right? Let's come here and view the job, right? Job cards. Right. So no, this one doesn't give us, right? So this is the job card that we have done. We haven't completed it, but we now want we now want to complete that job. All right. No, that's fine. So we are coming here and we are saying job cards. Then right. Okay. The job that we saved, it didn't save here. All right. Okay. Quote. Oh yes. Okay. So we have to here we have to select. Okay, we could select all. I think that would actually make it easy so that all the jobs they come up here. I wasn't seeing the job because it was under active. This job is not yet active. In other words, the client hasn't engaged us. So it's in the quote stage. Now, let's say the client has said, okay, fine, I'm agreeable to your quotation and I want you to come and do the installation. Now, the client has engaged us. Either they pay there and there, we process the payment, or they will pay later, whichever way. But now that they've engaged us, we then open the job. So we can just double click the job, or we could click on edit, right? Then we change this status, the job status, we change it to active because it's now active. Then once we do that, we also have to change here to make it active, right? So that we can save and close. Now, once the job is active, now you'd find we then save, process, close. Do you want to print picking slips? If you want, you could say yes, and then the items are picked for this specific job, the items could be picked. So this would be your picking slip, then the items could be picked. So now this job is now active. And if you were to view your job cards, your job costing or your job cards reports, you could see this job card is active. So I'm just going to preview, right? So when it is active, it means the job is being done. So we have got this job card. These are the items which were taken and everything, right? So we have to proceed. Now, when the job is done, you just come again here. You are saying job costing, job cards. Then it has to show you all. In this case, I'm just saying show all, right? So it shows all. This job is active. But when it is completed now, either I click on edit or you just double click on the job. Then you change the status to complete. Then it will prompt you, do you wish to process a final invoice or just complete the job? Please select yes to process a final invoice or no to complete the job. We want to complete the job as well as process the invoice because we want to give the invoice to the customer. Before, what we had only just gave to the customer was a quotation. Of course, they could have made a payment based on that quotation. But now that the job is complete, we have to indicate that it's complete by issuing out an invoice. So we would say yes. So it will say select, all right, I didn't select those items, so I have to select all uninvoiced transactions for invoice. Then yes, that's what we want. So it will select all the items, right? Then once we have done that, we then click again on save process complete. Then okay, I had selected my customer account, customer name there. So I'm just going to say, okay, do you wish to print the job picking slip? In this case, I'm not printing any picking slip. We picked the items when the job was in active mode or active status. So it's no delivery, no again. Then, of course, you want to print the job invoice document. It will be just your normal invoice. So this is what we do with job costing. Now, once we have done that, you'd find we can now view various reports. So you've got comparative price, job cards. You can actually view the profit and loss of a particular job and assess if the job was profitable or not. So this is your job costing module. So you'd find this is what it does. It will calculate the revenue that came in, the cost that went in, and other expenses that also went in, then the final profit that came in, right? So this is your job card, your job costing module. It's not difficult. You are using it in organizations who do customer jobs, like like fabricators, those who do like your kitchen installations and so on. They also want to use job costing. So, right, on this one we are done, unless if there are questions, but probably you may have questions after you practice. I want to cut off, then go on to our next lecture so that our videos are not too long. So I'm just stopping this session.